Okay, I thought I would start from scratch, try to create a video or a series of videos to help people who's wanting to get started in creating custom content for Neverwinter nights using Gmax. Basically, I mean, you're definitely going to want to have the Neverwinter nights installed and have the tool set. By utilizing this tool set, you'll be able to find out what tiles are in a given tile set that you want to change. For example, let's just bring up I'll bring up the castle interior, and here we have one of the mini terrains laid down. Also, by holding in your middle mouse button, you can move this around in this if you didn't already know this. But you can find tiles in here. Let's say if you wanted to change this tile, or let's say you had the jail down here, because it has multiple little cubby holes and whatnot. But say you wanted, click on this green tile up here, right above the red dragon head or whatever it is, right above there. Then that allow you to highlight over tiles that's on your tool set. So you can say, I really don't like this tile. Maybe you don't like all these grates that's in the floor or whatever, and you're like, I'd like to change that and just have a smooth floor if you wanted to, using that as an example. Well, by highlighting over this down in your lower left corner down here, it tells you what the name of that tile is. So if you look down there, right down here below the arrows, right in here, it's going to be right in here, you can see where it says tile, and then it says TIC, which that's 01. That is meaning that is part of the city interior. It's tile set is the T, I is for interior if I'm not mistaken, and then C is for city, or this one's castle, I believe, castle. So tile set, interior, castle. And then H, I'm not sure why, I mean, they got them split up into different things, but the H is for this particular tile, 02 and 04. Now, if you look, when I go to the side, that changes from H02 underscore 02, and this is 04, because they're both an outside edge of the jail cell, so they're both a 02, meaning this tile could fall in place of this one. So if I was to take the erase and go up under here, you would see I had the same tile there, because they're both an H. If you look down there, it's H02, and then the last two digits is the variation. So in other words, this one's a 02, a 01, 02, 03, 04. I think there's 4 variations is all they have. You can put more, you can add more. Of course, that would require changing the .set file. That would require change for sure, and depending on other things. But for this particular thing, I guess you'd have to change the .set file and then adding the tiles in and to the tile and change a few other settings. But if you just want to do an override, you could easily just create another tile and save it as this name, TIC01H0204, and then it would replace this tile in game when you go into game, if you had that implemented to a hack. So anyhow, that's why being able to know that helps when you're doing creating custom content for a tile set and using Gmax or whatnot. So let's just say I really want to do, say, this one. So this is H0203. So I'm going to look that up. TIC now. Go ahead and close this out. I don't want to make any changes. You're going to need NW Explorer. You can find that by going to Neverwinter Vault Bring that up here. I live out in the middle of no man's land, surrounded by cornfields and soybean fields, so the internet here isn't the greatest. Now, I'm on this page, so you go type in NWN Explorer. And see what we come up with. Okay, right here, it's the first one. Click on it. And right here. So you can download this and utilize it for what I'm going to utilize. Okay, so NW Explorer, so I open it up. Once you have it, you go to the NW main data. This is for your standard tile sets. Now you have your expansions, SOU and HOTU for Hordes of Underdark or Shadows of Undertide. But what I'm messing with is the standard tile set. Now it has the abbreviations right here, which you've seen in the front tile. So TIC for tile set interior castle. Okay. Now we want to go to models because that's what I'll be changing, and then we want to go down to H 0203, I believe is what it was. Yes, right there it is. And if you do a right click on your mouse, you can kind of rotate that a little bit. You move up and down with the left click, but right click allows you to rotate it. That's the tile that I am going to be working with in Gmax. Really, most of it I'm not going to use. I just kind of basically what I'm looking at doing is I want to create a balcony or a firing deck. It's going to be to a caravan, and I want a hallway. And I thought this would be a nice one to start with because I could put like a wall along this edge, and then a wall along here through the middle of the tile, and that'll consist of the hallway. Have an opening here to a firing deck slash balcony, and then have some windows in the edges here that would lead to the outside of the caravan to where they can fire out the caravan. So I thought that was the best thing I could think of to start with that I've seen, something to give you a base with. Really, I'm probably only going to use this floor. I just want this angle basically, and to give me a rough estimate of where half the tile is. But you'll see as we go along in the other videos. But once you've clicked on that tile, you chose it, right click, hit export, and you find a spot where you'd like to save it to. You hit save. Yes, I'm gonna save. I've already done it once before, but I'm doing it again for this video. So save that. Once that's saved, you are done with that part. Now you're going to need Gmax, which is the program we're going to be using, and then you have NWMax, which is another thing you can get from the vault. So NWMax, and do a search for that, or actually search for it. Let's see if I get the right one here. One of these. Or you can do my custom content tutorial. I've already got it set up in there, and Neverwinter Max is right there. Oh, and you'll need Vel tools as well, and it takes you right to the page, and then it says for Gmax only. That's the one you'd want. So the easiest way, because there's a couple of different versions on the vault, you just find my TO's content, custom content tutorials. You'll see the NWMax there. The other thing you'll need as well, so there's the Explorer. There's a link to Explorer, link to Gmax, so you can go straight there to download it. When you go to download it, you'll also have to register it. That's free, but when you click to register it, then they'll give you a key code, and you'll put that in when you're installing it. But back to this, so Gmax, NW Explorer, NWMax, which we went over that. Now Vel tools. Vel tools is another one. It's found on this page toward the bottom. This one here, setup. Vel tools 1, 2, 3 setup. So you'd want to download that as well. You'll need that. Other than that, once you have those installed, and then you can open up your Gmax. You have your Vels Tools windows and your Neverwinter Max window. Now, for installing a model from Neverwinter Nights, you're going to want to use MDL loading. Go to Browse, find your model, open, then you want to import it into Gmax. Once it's imported, now you have that. You have the different views here, front view, side view, and top view. I tend to pretty much just use the perspective view, because you bring this up here. Now if you hold down your mouse wheel button, the center mouse wheel button, if you hold that down, you can change your camera view up, down, side to side. Now if you notice, the object isn't moving. It's staying in the middle of these crosshairs. It's staying at the center point. Okay, it's just the camera angle is what we're changing. Now if you hold down Alt and the middle mouse button as well, you can then change the rotation to spin your camera around the object. Now in the middle of this object you have a square here. That square is the royal base. It's what it's used to right here. As you see, when you click on this rainbow, you can see it, what you have highlighted. So if I had something else highlighted, it'd be named in there, but the royal base is named in there. Once you have selected that, then you can hit export module, and it is going to export. Here's where it's exporting to, but it's going to export to from where I imported it from, unless you change it here. So if you want it somewhere different, you change it here, then you hit export mod. It'll go through the process, export. Now this is, I haven't done anything to this mod, but there's a sanity check that sometimes will come up and you'll have an error or whatnot. Most of the time it should be alright, but if I put yes, but if it isn't, you can always pull up your checks, view sanity checks here, and it'll sit here and give you a list. And it looks like here there's some bad edges. Now this tile is straight from BioWare's, so this isn't something I've created yet. There's some bad edges that they said it needs fixed. So you could go through and it gives you the coordinates, so you can go through and find these verts. Here's the verts, and they have the vert numbers. You can find those to correct those. But a lot of times you can export it and it'll still work fine. But if for some reason you're having issues with it, you can look it up and find that there. But I'm going to cut the video off there. I basically showed you how to find the tile in the tool set. I showed you how to export the tile. I've showed you how to import it into Gmax and how to export it out of Gmax. And so that'll be all for video 1, and I'll see you in video 2.